So, come on in, take a sip, let's wind down. We got ourselves a Thursday grid to jump into here today. And I have a 2018 Valtier Reserva. And I found this, of all places, at a train station. It was an interesting bottle. It had posted several awards. It's a Spanish wine. And on the nose, very typical cassis, vanilla, oak, kind of a thing going on. It's very pleasant. And on the palate, it's bold. It's slightly tannic, but smooth. Nice finish. And it's a very dry wine, but it comes off as a very sweet bouquet. It is a fantastic wine. And for 7 years in the bottle, it has aged rather well indeed. I'd give this one to poultry mostly. Maybe lamb, some pork. Not a bad wine at all. So if you're at your local train station here in Europe and you spot this, grab it. I mean, not a bad wine at all. Probably worthy of 3.4, 3.5 stars on my extended niceness scale. So let's hop into our grid and see what we got. Just got to say, I mean, I am so blown away by the number of people who are subscribing to the channel. To those of you who are new, welcome. God, we're so glad to have you here. Kind of legitimizes everything, makes it all really cool. And so, thank you so very much for hanging out and making the commitment more or less permanent. I appreciate those subscribes. Thank you. And to the notes I got overnight, you have no idea what those mean to me. YouTube, TikTok. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. I just can't tell you what it means to me when I sit down and get a chance to read them on a morning break. Espresso in one hand, phone in the other, going, oh, it's just amazing. So let's hop into our grid. We got a Kathleen Duncan construction edited by Will Shorts. Always so good to say that. So we have Interview with the Vampire and Prince of Thorns. Okay. A dollop. Well, a little dabble, do ya? Valentine's Day sentiment. How about Beam Mine? Rather possessive. Like some experimental music, perhaps we're talking about atonality. So, verb that sounds like a number and is a letter backward. Okay. How about 8? Wow, nice. Okay, so Interview with the Vampire, Prince of Thorns. I don't know. CD follower could be wrong. Potato turnover sounds like a knish. And I guess we've got a dark something. Maybe this is a continuation of this. So we've got this dash here. Let's see. Borat, this is Spinal Tap. Same thing. Yeah, it looks like we've got these answers go across and down, it looks like, or at least these two do. So maybe dark fantasy. That might hit the spot for us. They might be all over the map. Streets? I don't know. No, it can't be streets, because then that would just be street. I don't know what that is. Spring at could be leapt. So maybe states. Nice one. You got me. Oh, touche, perhaps. Hate when I put that much emphasis on these things, though, and I'm wrong. Then it's like, oh man, now I lost face. So notable criminal extradited in 2017, maybe El Chapo. The Thursday Murder Club and A Killer Sunday. Okay, I haven't even heard of those. Selection at the butcher's, perhaps for looking for a loin. You Come 2 from Robert Frost. And we got Etta James coming in, making an appearance today in the crossword. Dither, well, that could be a tizzy. A Thursday murder club and a killer Sunday. Is this a cozy mystery? Actress Anya Taylor-Joy, yeah. One named singer who is a former member of One Direction, and that's... I don't remember how to say this. Zayn, is it a Y and an N? I don't really know. Yeah, I think this is a mystery. So, that said, go out with could be to C. Prefix with soul or classical. How about neo? Neo. Get that away from me. You? Stash could be to stow. Bundle of paper or grain. And is this a sheaf, maybe? I don't think I've seen that word in forever. Poetic contraction that omits a V. Well, ever or air or Ladybird and Stand By Me. Well, Stand By Me. I can't speak to Ladybird, but I think Stand By Me would be considered coming of age. Coming of age. All right, let's check it. Some could be a few. A few. At you. A few. Food thickener could be auger. Also, that stuff inside the petri dishes. Kind of cucumber that isn't a vegetable. No, it is not. It is absolutely not a vegetable. The sea cucumber is not. So, the Knights of Ren, the shadowy side group in Star Wars. And locale for a cochlea, and that would be one's ear. If they have all their parts, of course. Overly big. Maybe obese. Out of my way. Out of my way. Move. Move. God. More than a mere grudge. Oh boy, V is for vendetta. Deferential. I think that's obescent, and I'm not sure. 1 of 10 in a millennium could be a century. So let's try obescent. Let's see what we got. Josh could be to kid. Borat, and this is Spinal Tap. So yeah, that's a mockumentary. I mean, I still laugh at This Is Spinal Tap. I mean, it is just one of the funniest movies of all time. I mean, that's why mine goes to 11. 11. Animal known for freezing under pressure. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Put to work. Maybe used? Is this a deer? Like some socks and chess players, maybe mated. I didn't know that deer did that. So enter. So yeah. So enter. Dry. Deer. Okay, there you go, deer. I had no idea you froze under pressure, but you should probably not freeze in front of the car coming at you on the freeway. Please. Button added to Apple's Messages app in 2022. I don't know. Eponymous Italian designer Mario Prada. I've written papers on Prada. I think they were formed in 1912. I mean, that's a company. If you got one pair of those shoes, you're doing good. Button added to Apple's Messages app in 2022. Maybe edit? I mean, I don't know. I only use WhatsApp. I mean, I don't... Some people use iMessage, but I mean, it's very few people. One of many listed on the back of a tour shirt. I guess we're talking about a gig there. And so jokesters could be wags. One of my, incidentally, favorite characters on Billions was Wags. Might to Shakespeare, perhaps mayest. Spanish letter before te, and maybe esse. So Downton Abbey and Shogun. Oh, well, I loved them both. I'm going to go with period, drummer. Grid lines, perhaps. Oh, well, now we got streets. Oh, skinny white mushroom. Oh, I don't know. This is an enoki, so I guess we don't have a period drama. We have a period piece. Yeah, okay. Okay. Period piece. Piece de résistance. Okay. There she goes. Great song. I loved the Laws. Okay, so 1980s New York mayor, and that would be Ed Koch. And boy, I used to just love it when he would talk about how a proper corned beef sandwich should be. A Reuben, right? You know, just the right amount of the mayo, a little bunch of the mustard, a real fatty piece of corned beef, rye. Oh, gosh, yeah. Sports org that now includes UC Berkeley and Stanford, strangely enough. Yeah, and that is the Atlantic Coast Conference, and that is pretty dadgum strange. One of them may be the foes, us versus them. It's always got to be that symbol, is it? How about loofahs, gathering lather? So far from fresh could be stale. Why do I have this terrible feeling that I've already fat-fingered something somewhere here? Get could be to obtain. And floating mass, maybe a berg. And people celebrated worldwide on March 8th, which is incidentally my birthday. And I love the fact that I celebrate my birthday while we're also celebrating women. I think that's the coolest thing ever, because really, women, y'all are the coolest thing ever. Bird-related prefix, how about a V? Second calling, Subject of Homer's loathing on The Simpsons, and I do believe he does not care for Ned Flanders one bit. So a second calling, I guess, could be a nickname. I've had several of those in my life. Boots is probably the one that stuck the longest, probably. Similar could be akin. And I know, boots. Where did that come from? Well, when I was in the Army, I was a cavalry officer, an armor officer, and so we wore the cool Jedi boots. They had straps and stuff. And all my infantry friends would just call me Boots. It wasn't a bad one. It wasn't a bad nickname at all, actually. Mr. Reed to Jane Eyre, and that would be the uncle. So, okay. Mixing thematic elements and tropes, or a feature of this puzzle, and I guess this could be genre bending. Genre bending. Okay. Well, that got me a little confused. All right. Let's see. So let's see. Person with the shift after a long one of yours could be the reliever. Mythical forge locale could be Etna. Well, let's face it, it probably is at this point. An Atlanta school besides Emory. I guess we're talking about Georgia State University? Or is it Georgia Southern? I really don't even know. How do we do, Bob? Seems like we had the same time yesterday. Seems like we've just been hovering around this 11-minute mark. But we don't obviously care about time. I mean, I'm sitting here, running my sower the entire way through it. And clearly, it's never been an issue. I don't feel like I need to hurry so I can make good time or something. No, but I think it's a pretty good gauge, just like a general relative difficulty thing, right? I mean, if it's showing 25 minutes, then chances are I was doing a Sunday puzzle, right? If I'm on a Wednesday and it shows 25 minutes, I either had a lot to share or I was struggling, right? So, it's like an indicator, right? But this is a fabulous grid. I have not seen Kathleen Duncan's name before. I'm assuming this is a this is a first in the New York Times, and if so, madam, I think this is absolutely fabulous. You've done such a good job constructing this grid. I thought that the streets and the states thing, because I mean, that when I'm thinking grid lines, I was thinking immediately streets, right? You know, might be all over the map. I was thinking streets as well. So you really kind of got me on that. Really beautifully done. Well done. Very well done. We'll bring in our Bannière d'Adieu. And again, if you happen upon a European train station and you find this fantastic Spanish wine, then jump all over it. It is not a bad one at all. Again, thank you to everybody for the likes and the subscribes and the comments especially. I love it when I hear from people, and the first time, like yesterday on TikTok, I heard, you know, it's the first time I've ever seen your channel, but it's now my daily favorite kind of a thing. I think it's just proof that people do want a little bit of intellectual stimulation and maybe a conversation about it, right? You know, versus being preached at, so to speak. And I think that's really kind of cool. I love how this community is growing, but it's growing so beautifully with just the right people. And I am just forever in everyone's debt. So thank you. Until we see you tomorrow, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. Cin-Cin. Be well out there. Take care of yourself and try to be kind to strangers as much as possible. Cheers.